I used to hear people talk about body shaming, people shaming other people for the way they look, and I'm not, I'm not in support of that. It is wrong. Derogatory things about someone just because of the way they look. Even if someone was slim at one point of their lives and suddenly they start adding weight, which some of us, it has happened to us. I used to be a very slim shady, but transformation, metamorphosis, life changes, things change. I got married, I had children. I mean, everything transformed. So you can't use that to insult people. That is by the way. Then the next kind of shaming that I totally, totally condemn. This one, yeah, I'm against it with everything that I believe in, everything that lives in me. That shaming is career shaming. Whether you call it career or job or profession or anything you call it, something that somebody is doing to make money, to put food on his table and the table of those that depend on him financially. You use it to shame a man or a woman. You are the most absurd person if you do that. For somebody not to go about begging or stealing or lying to make a genuine living and decide to go and do a menial job or something you could call, in your own point of view, degrading based on where they found themselves at a particular point or time in life, and you use that to shame them and insult them and call them all sorts of names and say, oh, look at the kind of job they're doing. Can they do a better job? You are disgraceful. You should be ashamed of yourself. Because if we look into history, maybe your father or your mother or the people who brought you into this world, even your ancestors, did worse things before your existence. So, from today, if you are an ignorant person, you are one of those people that sit down in your comfortable, privileged corner to talk about people that are genuinely aching out a living for themselves and their loved ones. You are actually the biggest loser because you're ignorant. And the reason you're ignorant is that you don't know anything about life. You need to study about life. You need to make inquiries. You need to actually learn something, one or two. In fact, one thing about life. Because if you do know something about life, you would shame people who are making a living as long as they're not doing any crooked moves, they're not stealing, they're not harming other people, they are genuinely making what they can make at the time where life has found them. Have you ever heard of the word that says, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade from it? You make lemonade. These are people who life has given lemons. When I came to the UK those days, mind that I studied accounting back home. But when I came, I couldn't find anything to do because in the UK, for everything, you have to train, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do that. At the point, I didn't even know how to do hair. I didn't know how to do hair. I couldn't even handle a strand of hair, but I had to learn with my daughter's hair. And I got better. I started by doing children's hair, and because I learned with my daughter's hair, I started by doing children's hair, even children from her school. Okay, it was embarrassing for my daughter at the time because I was not perfect, but in fact, my first customer was from her friend, you know, her mom, my daughter's friend saw her hair and said, who did your hair? I said, my mom. He said, okay, tell her she will do my daughter's hair. I'll pay her. She paid me £20. So I was paid £20 for that hair, even though my ex-husband used it against me. He's one of those people that career shame people. He was like, after reading accounting, his hair you want to settle to do in the UK. He never supported it. I had opportunities to own shops. People were going to sell their shops to me if I had continued. People who were tired of living in London because they've lived there for a long time. If he supported me, at one point he came and wanted to do barbering in a salon where I was doing hair, but his pride, okay, was way bigger than his shoes. He couldn't. you know. He didn't want to. He said, oh, how can he be? He used to be a banker and he's not a barber. He doesn't know that this is abroad. You start from somewhere. Okay, so he's one of those people that likes to shame people for what they do, but life humbles people, doesn't it? You know, so this is my advice. This is my way to say, please, if you do this, stop doing it. When you see somebody, cleaners, if people come to clean your house, if you can help them upgrade, but don't shame them. Don't look down on them because they're cleaning your house. Your gardeners, don't look down on them. Some of them make more money than you all, who are professionals, your so-called professionals. Okay, my gardener in my former place where I was living, you know, this guy has houses all over our estate where we live. Okay, he's made a lot of money. He has the best house there. So ever see somebody and say, oh, because they are doing this, they must be this kind of person, they must be that kind of person. The waitress who serves you in a restaurant might be a nurse just doing that, you know, to buy time while they're studying. Because for a nurse is who is going to uni full time Monday to Friday, what other job they can do if not a weekend job to serve in a restaurant? Your delivery driver might just be a pharmacist, which I've met so many times. Most of the people you come across, they are people who have plans. This is just like a passing, you know, stage for them to get to where they're going. The end we justify the means eventually. But you see them because you're sitting in your high horse, straight away you look down on them. Don't do that. And this message goes to all the people that work at McDonald's. Okay? People don't look down on you, but you look down on people. You look down on people. Most of you people who work in McDonald's, you look down on your delivery drivers. I'm telling you for free. Most of them are professionals more than yourselves. So don't career shame anybody. Just thank God that they are not on the streets robbing your houses. That is what you should do. Thank God they're not carrying guns and knives, looking for an old lady to take her purse and take her pension. Thank God that they're not blocking the streets. Thank God for that. Use this December to thank God for genuine living, people who are out there helping the society one way or the other, bringing something to the table of the economy nationally. Thank God for such people, because without them, there will be trouble. Start thanking God for your gardeners, for your cleaners, for the people who clean the streets, for the people who work in the sewages, for the people who carry your rubbish. Start think there are so many careers that people look down on. We should start thanking God for. It's not just nurses, doctors, and these ones are the top ones because we can see them. There are other people we should be grateful for. So this is the season to be grateful for the people that do a lot, but we don't see them every day. God bless you. Keep being good. Bye-bye.